All right, rise and shine, everyone. 6 o'clock here on your Wednesday, halfway through the week. Jason and Jen here with you as we count down to the weekend.
Yeah, and a soggy start for us, that's for sure. But man, I'll take it over what they're seeing up north.
Yeah, it's pretty bad up there, Guy. Here in the metro, though, just some wet roadways and maybe some wind later today.
Right, and a light mist right now if you're getting ready to step out. So expect low clouds accompanied by some light mist and even some areas with patchy fog. Snow remains to the north. We'll see this track east throughout the day today. Here back home, as wind speeds ramp up, temperatures drop. Notice by 9 a.m. 34, and then by 3 o'clock this afternoon, we're sitting at 30 degrees below freezing with a west wind at 24 miles per hour. So get ready to dress for the chill later this evening and then again come tomorrow morning. It's 36, light rain, southwest winds at 3 miles per hour. Our sunrise time, not tapping into sunshine today, 6:46. So that is getting earlier and earlier. So that's some good news. Days getting longer. Jen?
I like the sound of that. Here we are looking at the Southeast Metro. This is the Eagan area, 35E near Pilot Knob Road. Of course, still those wet roads. You can see everyone there has their lights on. That's a good thing. You'll want yours on too, and maybe take it slow because you are going to run into those wet roads this morning. Well, hey, no matter the weather, grab your phone, download the free KARE 11 weather app. You can get personalized forecasts, live radar. Maybe you just want to stare at the 7-day and look at that 70-degree day we've got coming up. Hey, whatever you want to do, it's free wherever you get your apps. You can also scan the QR code, which is on your screen right now. 3,000 employees who work at these Cub food stores around the Twin Cities authorized a strike vote late last night, and that means they could walk off the job as early as Friday. And in just a few hours, we'll be hearing from union members.
They're planning to make an announcement about what's next in front of one of their stores. Cece Gaines joins us live in Maple Grove with the very latest. Cece, good morning.
Hey, good morning. Well, contracts for workers expired last month, and when that happened, workers started picketing, and they did a lot of picketing last month, but negotiations really didn't go anywhere, so that's why they called for yesterday's strike vote. Now, if you take a look at your screen here, you'll see a tweet from the union that they just posted a few hours ago, and the union said that of the about 3,000 votes cast yesterday, more than 94% were in favor of a strike. So the union plans to announce those next steps at the Cub here where we are in Maple Grove. That'll be at 10:30 this morning. Now, workers say they're demanding better protections for workers and better wages. According to a Cub spokesperson, it's offering full-time employees an additional $2.75 per hour that's spread over the next 2 years. But the union is asking for $4 an hour over the next 2 years. The sides are also at odds over a new raise structure for part-time employees.
We went through the last couple of years pandemic. They told us we are the heroes, but those days are over. We are from hero to zero. So I'm fighting for dignity and protection for my co-workers.
Now, a strike could impact more than 30 corporate-owned stores across the metro, and we have a full list of those 30 or more on our website. The next bargaining session is next week on April 11th. Coming up in 30 minutes, we're going to be telling you how Cub is responding to this. Yeah, Jason, Jen?
Definitely a good idea to check out that list of stores. Thank you, Cece.
Former President Donald Trump is waking up at his home in Florida after his unprecedented arraignment in New York. When he returned to Mar-a-Lago, he had plenty to say about the case.
Because our justice system has become lawless, they're using it now, in addition to everything else, to win elections.
Trump also said the only crime he committed has been to fearlessly defend the U.S. Trump pleaded not guilty to 34 felony charges related to hush money payments to adult film star Stormy Daniels. Here's Garrett Haake with the key takeaways of that arraignment.
Good morning. Mr. Trump himself described it as a surreal experience, watching a former commander-in-chief become a criminal defendant. And the hearing in the courtroom behind me lasted a little bit less than an hour. The former president, stern-faced, arms crossed across his chest for much of it as he heard the 34 counts against him read into the record for the first time. We heard from prosecutors as well about Mr. Trump's rhetoric, a warning from the judge, the reaction from Mr. Trump and his supporters, all coming up this morning on Today.
So many out there are reacting to this update, including Minnesota's Republican Party Chair David Hann. In a statement, he says it's disconcerting to see our justice system used to pursue partisan ends. And Minnesota's DFL responded, saying the proceedings, quote, serve as an important reminder that nobody is above the law in America and that everybody has the right to a fair trial.
This morning, the results are in for Wisconsin's special election. Liberal Milwaukee Circuit Court Judge Janet Protasewicz has won the state's Supreme Court seat. This is a big deal because the High Court has leaned conservative for 15 years. With Protasewicz's victory, this will shift the balance, especially as the state Supreme Court is set to hear several big issues soon, including a challenge to Wisconsin's pre-Civil War abortion ban. Election officials say voter turnout was strong. They also reported more than 400,000 absentee ballots cast statewide.
They were ready to put aside the partisanship and put aside the extremism and to have an impartial court, and a court that makes decisions based on the law, not on a political agenda.
That was Protasewicz speaking to her supporters last night after her victory. This election was the most expensive one for a state Supreme Court justice in U.S. history, with $40 million spent to try to persuade voters.
There's a settlement this morning between the ACLU of Minnesota and former Minneapolis Police Union head Bob Kroll. A civil lawsuit accused Kroll and other law enforcement of using excessive force against demonstrators following the murder of George Floyd. In the settlement, Bob Kroll, who is now retired, cannot serve as a peace officer in Hennepin, Ramsey, or Anoka counties for 10 years. He's also barred from being involved in leadership with the Minnesota board that licenses police officers. Kroll denies any and all claims of wrongdoing. A big blow to downtown Minneapolis. AT&T announced it is leaving its namesake tower. Operations at 901 Marquette Avenue and hundreds of employees will move to a facility in Bloomington by the end of August. AT&T says it will also be giving up the naming rights to the building.
If you step outside this morning, you'll feel it. Our cold, wet weather is pushing back start times for spring sports across the state at every level. The St. Paul Saints and the Twins moved their home openers because of the weather.
Yeah, it's tough out there. Eva Anderson joins us live from CHS Field with more on these tough calls.
It was a tough call, obviously, but hey, in a few hours, there will be people heading here to CHS Field, maybe a day later than they expected, but today is their home opener. Now, the game that was supposed to be their home opener yesterday was actually moved to Saturday. That day will now be a doubleheader. Of course, we've mentioned the Twins are also facing changes. Their home opener, as well as our big live broadcast from Target Field, was set to be tomorrow. Now that is pushed to Friday. We also checked in with some high school sports. Yesterday, headed over to Champlin to see how they're getting creative and adjusting to indoor practice.
We've been making do with the space that we have.
Like today, we were doing a mock meet to try to get a better understanding of how meets work, but really they're thrown to the wolves once we get outdoors because we don't have, the first few meets to get them acclimated.
Back here at CHS Field tonight, the St. Paul Saints take on the Iowa Cubs just after 6:30. Tickets are still available. And coming up in 30 minutes, we'll have some important information about anticipated spring flooding here in St. Paul and the city's response. Guys, back to you.
Yeah, really important stuff there. Thank you, Eva.
Well, this morning, nearly 10 million people are under severe weather threats in the South and the Midwest. This is video you're seeing here from Illinois yesterday after a tornado touched down there. 2 people evacuated this gas station before that EF2 tornado hit. And then in Fargo, a blizzard slammed the state overnight. Forecasters say the area could see up to a foot or more of snow.
6:09 right now and taking a live look over the metro this morning. Doesn't it just look so nice and inviting?
Like a warm blanket.
Ah, yes. Nothing is makes you want to jump out of bed on a Wednesday like some nice rainy kind of dreary weather.
Right.
But you know what? I'm not going to complain, Guy. It could be a lot worse.
We can't. It could be, and better weather on the way. So I know it's never, I know who's looking forward to a gray day, right? But trust me, we all have to go through it. Everybody sees rainy days. So sunshine in store tomorrow, still chilly. And then wait till you see the 7-day, big warm up ahead. So temps right now 36. southwest wind at 3 miles per hour. You'll see that sunrise time right around 6:46. And it actually feels like the air temperature too. I have to step off here. Clicker is not working right. But I can tell you snow still remains to the north, and snow will continue to track northeast. So next up, Duluth with more snow on the way. With the snow making its way further east, winds start to really pick up, and I'll show you what I'm talking about here as well. We'll tap into radar right now. You'll see the snow still west of Bemidji. Really hasn't moved much. This has been just a slow mover, which means it's going to dump significant amounts of snow as it's been doing. An additional 3 to 9 inches are expected in some spots later on this afternoon. So right now, 36, you have a light mist out there in the KARE 11 backyard, very light. So your wipers will work throughout the morning hours. Your wipers will be working hard. Flurries possible later this afternoon as temperatures fall. Blustery conditions too with the wind chill. It's going to feel much cooler. So again, you could see some flakes fly, but it shouldn't slow you down out there on the roads. Upper 20s by later this evening. You factor in the winds. It's going to feel much cooler. Tomorrow morning, at least we'll see some sunshine with temps in the 20s. I'll be back in 10 minutes with my 7-day forecast.